Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys football. We are heading to the SEC as the Ole Miss Rebels go on the road to play the LSU Tigers again. This is a team that, in the Ole Miss Rebels, that we don't really know that much about. A very impressive win against Kentucky. They've looked good all year. I mean, top 20 in total offense, top 20 in total defense. They've been good. That being said, strength of schedule outside the top 70. How good is this team, really? I think we're going to find out Saturday. Before we get into talking the matchups and giving the picks, again, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support you guys have shown the channel. It's been a blast talking ball with you guys, picking winners, taking locks, talking players. You guys have been absolutely awesome with the support. So if you do like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We really do appreciate y'all. Let's get into the matchup. Start with this Ole Miss team. You take a look at what they've done, and we said this all summer. You're probably going to see a more run-heavy team, and Lane Kiffin really never gets he has this reputation of being some air raid coach. Even last year, they ran the football a decent amount. Matt Corral put up some crazy numbers, so people thought really they were throwing the ball a lot more than they were. They're running the ball a lot this year, and we talked about it. You lose your All-American quarterback. You lose a guy like Dontae Drummond on the outside. Who is going to really step up? Jackson Dart, Luke Altmaier, two kind of question marks. Then at the wide receiver spot outside of Jonathan Mingo, there weren't too many guys that you felt really good about as productive pass catchers. They turned to the run game. No, you didn't have many questions on that offensive line, which is a great unit. And then you had Zach Evans coming from TCU, the former five-star guy. He's been good. I mean, you look at what he's done. He's averaging 6 yards a carry. Quinshon Judkins, the true freshman, I believe he was only a three-star guy. Heard some rumblings about him in fall camp. He's an absolute beast. I mean, a 220-pound guy. How quickly and how hard that dude runs downhill is insane. And when you look at how these two runners balance each other out, Zach Evans, he can run hard, but he's much more of kind of a speedster space guy. Quinshon Judkins is going to just run you right over. And I really like how that run game is looking. Again, Jackson Dart probably wins the battle because of the athleticism and because of the dual threat nature he gives this offense. This offense is cooking right now. They run fast. They run the ball very well. They stay on schedule, which is something they didn't really do last year. They're doing really well this year. And then when you have 4 downs and you have a great run game, four plays to pick up the first, you're going to be a successful offense. And that's what I think you're seeing with this Ole Miss team. And you look at the question about what needs to happen in this game for LSU to win, they got to stop the run. Ole Miss has been really good at staying on schedule. And so when it gets to third down, they have that full playbook open. What I want to see LSU do is get some negative plays. Get guys like Micah Baskerville, Ali Gay, BJ Ojulari behind the line of scrimmage. Get some negative plays. And then force Ole Miss to kind of be one-dimensional on third down. Again, a lot of these games you watch, they're able to have a run play option on third down because it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, and they're going for it on 4th down. When you get to 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, you really can't run the ball, or you don't feel as comfortable running the ball. Jackson Dart hasn't been the best passer of the football this year, only completing 61% of his passes, 11 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. The key to me is if LSU can stop that really, really, really prolific run game of the Ole Miss Rebels, and you flip the side, LSU's offense got off to kind of an ugly side against Florida State. The offensive line has been a problem, and Florida State's defensive line is very good. Guys like Jared Verse, Robert Cooper, Fabian Lovett. It's a really good unit. Excuse me. And you saw LSU really struggle to pass protect against those Florida State guys. And why their offense struggled so much is I don't necessarily think it was Jaden Daniels. Yes, does he seem a little rushed in the pocket? Sure. But he just wasn't really given clean pockets to work from. And he was kind of straight. The offense that LSU had success with the first couple of weeks was pretty much Jaden Daniels running for his life, making plays. The last couple of weeks, and you look at what they were able to do against Florida when I rewatched that game, they were able to get it to their playmakers on the outside. You look at that LSU offense. Where's their talent? Where are they going to find big plays? Keyshawn Butte, one of the best wide receivers in the country. Jeray Jenkins, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. Those guys are studs. And they just weren't able to get the football into their hands enough. Now against Florida, they started to do that. Jaden Daniels put together a pretty efficient night. 23-32, 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's kind of what you want to see this LSU offense kind of come into. And I think they're kind of finding their rhythm a little bit. And my question is for this Ole Miss team that's been extremely good against the run. I don't see LSU running the football against this Ole Miss team very successfully. I think the big question is, can he get after Jaden Daniels? Because when you see an LSU struggle, it's when Jaden Daniels is hot. He can't go through his reads, and he doesn't really have clean pockets. When he has clean pockets, Jaden Daniels is a talented quarterback. Yes, is he as good of an arm as Garrett Nussmeier? No, but that athletic ability that he brings certainly kind of gives him the edge in that Brian Kelly offense. Can guys like Ladarius Tennyson from that safety spot, they like to blitz him, Jared Ivey, JJ Pegas, Kerry Coleman from TCU. Can some of those guys create some pressure, get Jaden Daniels off the spot a little bit, get him uncomfortable? You can see Jaden Daniels. He's a quarterback, in my opinion, that can win a football game and he can lose a football game. Very similar to guys like Malik Cunningham, DTR, Bo Nix, guys who are very talented quarterbacks, but they can also lose you football games, but they can win you them too. Can Ole Miss turn Jaden Daniels into a quarterback that is going to lose this football game for LSU? And another thing that you just need to talk about is special teams. LSU has straight up arguably lost games because of special teams. You start that Tennessee game out muffing a kick. It's like so hard to come back from that. And then on the next punt, they give up a long punt return. Obviously, Florida State, they had plenty of really, really bad special teams plays. Not very typical of a Brian Kelly offense, and I think Brian Kelly team, and I think he's going to figure it out. And part of the reason why I like the Brian Kelly hire, even though it seems a little weird, is that the Brian Kelly system is a lot disciplined. They don't beat themselves, and when you combine that with the amount of talent that this LSU team has, they're a very good team. Now, I want to get into the pick a little bit. You take a look at the odds. Ole Miss coming in as 2-point underdogs. The total is 68. I'll tell you right now, I think I like the under in this game. The only Ole Miss defense that we've seen play them really tight is Kentucky. And I think LSU has the talent to kind of keep Ole Miss under control. And that 70-point almost total just seems high. I know Ole Miss plays fast, but they like to run the football a lot. LSU hasn't really shown consistency on the offensive side of the ball. And both these teams have relatively strong defenses. I really like the talent that LSU has on defense. I know they haven't quite put it together yet, but the talent's there. And Ole Miss, on the other hand, I very, very impressed with how this. I lean towards that under 68. I'd probably did take a little sprinkle on Ole Miss money line just because from the eyeball test, they've been the better team. Although this game is a very, very tough read because I don't love betting against LSU in Death Valley. That is a very, very hard place to play. That'll do it for the preview. Again, we appreciate all the support. If you guys do like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We appreciate y'all, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.